First, I think it has been a big blessing, and it's a very advantageous thing that, at such a difficult time, you have been able to find a position. Amarjit, let me ask you this. How has the course helped you in this opportunity and with your general mindset?
Definitely it was a much more focused approach. And when I went through your course and joined your classes, and at least I found the guided path was basically there for me. I will be targeting few companies, and I'll go by that SPP model what you have suggested. I found it very practical and practical way of approaching job search.
I was very pleased to hear about your one-on-one meeting that you had asked about.
Yeah, actually I was myself keen because whatever discussion happened, it happened over the phone, and they had sent me an offer letter also. So right. I was a bit concerned that let me check the credentials of the company and I should not fall into the wrong place. So just want to meet basically due to that only.
I think that was a very appropriate thing to do because it brings forth your maturity that you're going to look at what it is that you're going to be involved with.
Exactly.
Right. So how did the meeting go?
So that was the learning. It was a good meeting. Basically, I met. I'll just brief you about the company first. Basically, it's a group of companies. They are into it's not a big corporate sort of a setup. It is what we can say proprietorship of a company, but they have a group turnover of around 1200 CR. And this particular division, they are doing around 120 to 130 CR. And this is being headed by two young directors, son of the original forefathers. And they are into pre-fabricated structures, insulated panels, puff panels, which can be used for other things, and even the fire-rated doors, etc. So they basically, as of date, they are doing business with the corporate people like Shapurji or the L&T, etc. And majorly they have done two projects now with the airport authority, like new Darbhanga airport, which is to start next month. They have done it. They have done the Hindon Road, Hindon Airport in Noida also. So they have done it. So all the pre-engineered buildings and all those things they are doing. But they are an ambitious plan of going into this government sector, explore the government sector, because as briefed by me or as per the discussion held with me earlier, where they asked me about my view, I told them that Government of India, especially the MES department, has a huge potential for all such buildings. And since I've worked with this company, these departments, and especially if you say the Leh-Ladakh area alone has a business of around 400 CR per annum. That's the budget what is allocated. Apart from that, you have prefabricated structures required by National Highway Authority wherever their projects are going on for their neighborhoods and offices, etc. So that is where I showed them the potential, that there is a huge potential. Given a situation that I am without job from last 4 months and my notice period got completed on 15th of this September. So I was looking for a job where I don't lose my relations or style of working, meeting with government officials and approaching them and building my relations with them, because that is my core area and I want to continue with that sort of a function only. As if you remember, I discussed with you also that I'm interested into small consulting roles also.
Yes.
And in fact, I was in discussion with few companies, and one of this was also one of the company. They offered me part-time also and full-time also. So I asked them, what do you want? So they were more keen for full-time rather than the part-time part. So because I was in discussion, and I still have a meeting tomorrow again with CK Birla Group. They are wanting a person for product licensing and introduction to government departments and approval for the PVC pipes, which is used for your bathrooms, etc. They are competing with big giants like Ashirwad and all.
This is with CK
but they don't
Birla
have any
Group?
presence in this segment. Yeah. CK Birla Hyderabad Industries Limited. So basically, I got connected to them on LinkedIn only, because all my previous jobs also, if I see, it was through LinkedIn. The previous company which I joined, that was also through LinkedIn. So I found that platform to be a better one. And further, your guidance that go for unpublished job rather than the published job. Though I was definitely responding to the published jobs also, but I was more keen in unpublished jobs like this one. This is an unpublished job where I matched their needs, and my streak, what you call, is definitely matched there, and we hope to create some value around that. And they have basically offered me a full-time role, and they are expecting me to do liasoning for them or get their product approval from big departments like PWD, MES, your Engineers India Limited, and any other key areas where I initiate or manage entire licensing job for them. Second, whatever inquiries are there or the tenders which are happening, I basically be a face of the company for licensing and presenting the company there. I will not be a sales part of the core sales team, but it will be a business development role for me. And thirdly, they want that going forward, I create sort of a corporate sort of relations with every key client where we build a project funnel for next 2 years. So I mean they have not discussed for a very, very long term plan because they are still a new company, I believe, in this segment, and they are going. But good thing is this is being headed by young people, very young people, and they are themselves learning through hit and tell method, because if they were actually knowing about this field, they would have hit or targeted the core customers, the core departments in the first meeting itself.
No, but I think they needed.
So they have gone in for yeah. That is where I said no, that their need and my streak basically matched. So they are looking for a person where their business can grow multiple times. And basically what happens in government departments, what I told them, what vision I gave them is, once in government departments there is a tendency that whatever specification they take, in further tenders also they cut copy paste it because they don't do much of effort. So in that case, what happens is, like, if once we enter into a department, they will carry a tendency to cut copy paste the specification and go with one company. And this being a specific and specialized job, so they might call tenders from few other companies, but they will always keep and give preference to a company which they have already worked, provided they have given a good service. So that is a key thing. And in government department, one more good thing is, to my experience, that whatever projects come in, there is no problem of funds, because when the funds are pre-arranged and then only the tender happens, else the tender doesn't happen. So these are pre-planned or funded projects where the fund is not going to be any problem. This is one big advantage of government segment. That is why I basically focus on this area. Third, if we are approved and our specifications are approved, we are able to sell the system at our terms and conditions rather than the terms and conditions of the contractor or any other person, because the specifications are freezed by us. So it is a specific thing, and we basically sell at our own terms and conditions. The contractor just adds on his margin and then quote. Right. Like for example, a lot of tenders are happening in Delhi now for this new project which is coming up. Like they are demolishing the Niman Bhavan and they are reconstructing pre-fabricated structures, 4-story behind Janpath only for CPWD itself. It will be a transit office sort of a thing. They are investing huge amount. That is the Vista part of the Vista project only. So that is where we had a discussion around that, and lastly I asked them that what if I meet and achieve the targets? So is there any incentive, performance-linked incentive to it? That was the last question which you also suggested. It was in my mind also. Right. So to that they have agreed that yes, we have a policy for that. But since my case, the contribution is not a tangible one, so we will formulate something, maybe some approvals and the business generated through the leads whichever I create, and then we can work out some sort of a performance-linked incentive for me. And which basically the offer letter they have already sent to me. They want me to join by 5th of October, and so I told them yes, I am keen to join.
See, 2-3 things that come to my mind. First, I think it has been a big blessing, and it's a very advantageous thing that, at such a difficult time, you have been able to find a position, because being back in the workforce, having the daily discipline of working, without that, a person can feel very lost. So I think it is a huge blessing that you have been able to do that. So my congratulations on that, first and foremost. Secondly, I think you're also in a position where multiple offers are in the making. So it's not just this opportunity, but also the other opportunities that are coming your way.
The companies are on hold. Actually, whichever company I'm discussing,
right.
They find my profile very attractive, but they are on hold at the moment.
Right. But I think the thing is that it's just a matter of time. And you use this process is just a matter of time. The good thing is that, as you said, it's an unpublished role. So this is something that you have really generated for yourself, showing them the value that you bring to the table. Exactly. And the third thing is that, this is core to your stake. Because I remember in our, emails and our exchanges before, you had been talking about how, it has been a difficult time, that your family had been supporting you through this mentally as well as otherwise.
Yeah.
And, of course, that return of that pride and that identity is a very, very big thing. And you have young sons that look up to you, and you're a blessed man with a beautiful and lovely family. So that's a wonderful thing. So what is the name of the company now that has sent you the offer letter now, this company?
This is basically in the name of EPAC Prefab Structures and Pre-engineered Buildings. The group is EPAC, EPACK.
Okay, EPAC.
They have basically 2-3 divisions. Yeah, they have 2-3 divisions. They are making thermocol. Basically, they have 2 factories for thermocol, which they are supplying to like companies like Voltas, Godrej, etc., which is used for refrigeration and all those things.
Right.
One is their thermocol manufacturing unit, and this I will be a part of their prefab and pre-engineered buildings, where they make sandwich panels or insulated panels, also puff panels sort of, which is basically used for your pre-engineered buildings and prefab structures.
Right.
So my discussion is for that division.
And you will be doing business development in the government sector, which is aligned with your core.
Yeah, I will be doing the liasoning, handling the liasoning part, and basically creating business opportunities and handling their business for government departments.
Working in the government sector is very different from tackling the private sector. Government sector is much more complicated.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for liaisoning roles.
It's much more complicated. Yeah. So, it's very complicated, in fact.
It's good that
But I have been enjoying it. Yeah. I have been enjoying it, and in fact, I think that's my forte. I basically got a lot of key approvals for Pan India for the companies which I have worked, especially ENC, MES, and Security and EIL, the Airport Authority of India. So when you work with this sort of companies and these sort of people, so you enjoy sort of a different work culture there.
Definitely.
So it's a relation building exercise.
And what is the CTC that they have offered you here?
This was 25 lakhs.
The running income can be established again, and things can move as per the lifestyle that you were enjoying. So that's a wonderful thing. Amarjit, let me ask you this. How has the course helped you in this opportunity and with your general mindset?
Definitely it was a much more focused approach than my earlier approaches. The way you have taught us to, though I have, frankly speaking, I didn't made any approach letter because I didn't have the time. I was not carrying my laptop to Delhi. But I had the key points to discuss in my mind, which we have discussed, and I went through that interview 15 questionnaires which you gave me, though he never asked me, because he was actually telling me about their company, because that was my need when I went to them. When he has finished talking, I asked a few questions. But yes, let me be very clear that course which I'm going through, initially basically I thought I'm not doing nothing, so let me basically join this course and engage myself some positive thinking, because I needed some positive thoughts to carry on. And I joined this course in June, if I'm not wrong, mid of June or first week of July. So I joined this course when I was recently basically separated from a company. I was sitting home idle, and I had to keep a very happy face for my family that I'm very busy. Though
Yes.
I had sleepless nights and I was going through a lot of pressures. And when I went through your course and you joined your classes, and at least I found the guided path was basically there for me. And I didn't took your course very seriously in the beginning stage, because I had a few tussles going on with the previous company, because I was in probation period and I wanted to negotiate for a notice period, because like probation period means you are immediately laid off and no compensation.
Right.
So 15-20 days during that course only, I basically negotiated with the HR team and was able to bargain for almost 3 months notice period, which expired on 15th of September. So that was a big support for me, because so that was a big support for me, because I had to ensure my 3 months, 4 months bread and butter, however it comes.
Right.
So that is where I missed your course. Though I attended all the sessions, the classes, but I was not focused. I was not focused at that time. And however, when these things happened, and meanwhile I started doing things on LinkedIn. Last year, when there was 2 weeks gap, there was no session, mastermind call. I started from scratch again.
Yes.
I did all my level 1 again. I did my entire bonus classes, and once I go back, I'll start off, and I have enrolled to level 2 also.
Yes.
Why I have enrolled? Because I find a lot of value in it. I am looking at the long-term perspective. This is basically sort of an interim relief for me that I'm getting into this job. Yes, it will give me the much required relief and respite in this dynamic situation. And I will be targeting few companies. I'll go by that SPP model what you have suggested. I found it very practical and practical way of approaching job search. And maybe I'll get into some entrepreneurship also after getting into. I mean, this will be to entertain those people at my own sweet will. So that will be like I will be at the face of the company. The cost will be borne by the company, but for the client or for the department people, I will have to get into some consulting role or some consulting firm. That will help me a lot. That's to my mind thought process. So I mean, till date I am benefited by in details about different sessions, even the habit sessions. I had very bad habits. Let me admit it. Though I was very happy that I have reduced my weight from 112 to 82 kgs, but that was due to many reasons. I got diabetic, I left drinking and everything. That was due to that. But I mean, getting into the habit of meditation, getting into the habit of 20-30 minutes exercise daily, this has basically been incorporated in my lifestyle now. Though I miss it sometimes, but yes, I basically look forward that I don't miss my exercise at least for 30 minutes a day. Meditation, definitely, I'll say that I'm not going in by the typical, the method what you have taught, hope no. And I'm basically doing my own meditation. I like जो मेरा पाठ है जो religion is I go by that because I feel more connected in that way. But you have to basically find a way of keeping yourself peace of mind. And moreover, I'm engaging myself more with my family so that they don't actually, because what happens if I'm a little bit tense, they get more tense looking at me. I have to keep a happy face in front of them. Right. And they are worried because my younger son is still just started his college life. So we were concerned, and I don't even have my own house at the moment. So this was basically, this typical year is very critical for me. So this year I targeted a house for myself, which is basically on the verge of, like, the possession is delayed because of some legal complications. And I was looking that I got a stable job that this will, even if I survive in 5 years in this company, so I will go through this difficult session, and rest the kids will take over. I hope that next 5 years, definitely with your guidance in this particular course, I will grow. I will not come back from this session, because
this
before
is something
this
you will
meeting
use
also
every
this
year. You will use this repeatedly. So,
I'll tell you one more thing. Last week also I had 2 more interviews which I have referred in my mail to you also.
yes.
Where the companies are basically, they tend to exploit you. Okay, whatever CTC you're getting, take 50% is fixed and 50% is variable.
Yes.
So I didn't want it to succumb to that sort of a pressure. I was waiting for the right opportunity, maybe small companies, and this company basically, why I am little bit keen, because when you have discussed your career path, you have basically said that you were more interested in working where you were directly in contact with the decision making authorities or the promoters or the directors. So here also, this I will be reporting to the directors only. There will be no manager or something like it. It will be a direct conversation. So either I perform, I gain the good book, or if I don't perform, I go out. So that opportunity is in my hand now. So I mean, I hope if I am able to add some value, they will not leave me even if I want to leave them. So then that's the thing, sir.
Excellent, excellent. And I know you've been attending the mastermind calls, the Wednesday calls also. How have you found those?
Every call. Very detailed one, very like impressive one. That is where basically every time you attend a session, you learn new things. And I have made a lot of friends also basically through these sessions.
Yes, of course.
And they are basically very detailed one. They are very detailed one, definitely, because each and every topic you take separately. Like the last session, like being an author. So one of my friends just last month suggested me that you have an experience of 25 years. Why don't you write a book on it? And it was a coincidence that you took this topic.
Right.
And I was like really surprised that God is basically matching the strings. And I was really starting to plan, thinking on this track, though it will not happen in a short period. Because I really want to interview the key people in this field, know their views, know the views of the people who are basically in this industry. And definitely I have made it a target of my life that I have to go and write a book on my it is, like you said, it's not going to be a tool for earning for me. It is like to market myself to others. So that will be basically a marketing tool for me.
I think your friend is correct with the amount of experience.
Will definitely create opportunities thing to my resume.
Right. Let me ask you this: would you recommend the course to others?
I am already recommending, sir. I am already recommending. Few of my friends have already joined. I am recommending to them that you please go to join this course, because it is of great value. Because even I have done like I did my MBA from a very low profile institute 25 years back from Darbhanga, Bihar, because there were no colleges during that time, and MBA was a very new concept. And to refresh my knowledge or to update myself, I did a course in 2014 from IIM Kolkata. Because I wanted to be in like the new generation of the team which I was handling. They were coming from good institutes, and I wanted that my skill set should at least be at par with them. I should talk the terminology what they use. So the things and the working was the same. It was only the name and the terminology which has basically changed. So owing to that, I was basically that mission. I joined that course and I did it in 2014 for 1 year. But I think the learnings here are much better than the course what I did there. Because those were typical modules and the sessions. Yeah, so they were basically not that practical sessions. They were more of like case studies. On that they used to form groups, and every week we had different classes, and we give presentations. But those were majorly learned through the case studies. But going into the nitty-gritties of each and every topic down the line, that was not happening there. This basically is a much simpler way of learning, and like explained in a very simple format and easy to do format. Like it's not that you're not asking us to do rocket science things. It is the things which we are already doing, but we have to be like more methodical. We are more methodical in our working. For example, we were like doing exercise but not regular at our own speed. We didn't have any timing. So that, for example, you suggested us time that we need to create that hour of power in the morning for ourselves. That will definitely make me a much better person in life. Academically, my personality wise, my health wise, it will actually set the entire system in place for me. So these are very critical learnings from your course which I have got.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for spending your time and your specific guidance and holding my hand actually this lot of time. It's a great help.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Makes me feel that somebody is there with me.
It's a big thing. We are all there for each other, and I think that is what is needed right now.
Exactly.
To build each other up and to strengthen each other.
Exactly.
Because we lose the game in our head even before we lose it out there in reality. So wonderful that this worked out. I'm so happy for you, and I wish you all the very best, and I wish your family all the very best. I was able to see some of your pictures.
Thank you, sir.
Of a much younger you on Facebook. Excellent. And I look forward to more discussion and more interaction as we move forward as well.
Thank you. Look forward, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Great talking to you. Bye-bye.
Same here. Thank you, Amarjit.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.